It's 3:36 in the morning. You weren't planning on being awake, but your eyes are open. Your heart feels like it's doing a little extra work for no reason. And one of your calves is starting to pull tight. Not a full cramp yet, just the warning before one. You lie there for 20 minutes, maybe 30. You think it's the coffee you had at 4, or the news, or the meal last night sitting wrong. It's almost never those things. This is not the real reason for your nighttime wake-up. There's a mineral underneath most of these small nighttime betrayals. And for something so quietly essential, it's also one of the hardest things to measure. My name is Dr. Evelyn Harper. I want to walk you through something most people miss, including plenty of doctors. Magnesium. And more specifically, why the form you take changes almost everything. Magnesium is involved in more than 300 enzyme reactions in the human body. Your muscles use it. Your nervous system leans on it. Your heart rhythm, your blood pressure, your sleep. The tiny energy factories inside every one of your cells cannot turn without it. And here's where things get strange. Most of the magnesium in your body is hiding, not in your blood. Inside your bones, inside your cells. About 1% sits in the bloodstream. Imagine trying to figure out how wealthy someone is by counting the change in their wallet. The real money is in the bank. You're looking in the wrong place. That's what a routine blood test does. It checks the wallet. The bank account is somewhere else entirely. Before I go any further, please keep something in mind. What I'm sharing here is for learning, not diagnosis. Your own doctor knows your history. If any of this lines up with how you feel, bring it to them. So if the blood test is unreliable, what do we have? We have symptoms. And a lot of them look like other things first. Let me walk you through a few. The sudden anxiety that shows up out of nowhere. No trigger, no bad news, just a wave. Magnesium is the brake pedal on your nervous system. Without enough of it, the brakes don't quite catch. Then the 2 in the morning wake up. That one usually runs through cortisol. Magnesium helps keep cortisol steady overnight. When magnesium drops, cortisol climbs, and your eyes pop open like you're late for something. Eye twitching. The muscle can't relax because calcium controls the contraction, and magnesium is supposed to handle the release. If magnesium is short, the muscle just stays tense. Muscle spasms anywhere. Tight shoulders you can't stretch out. A calf that tightens. Leg cramps that wake you at 4 in the morning. Heart pounding after a meal. Chest tightness that feels alarming but passes. Migraines that seem to come from nothing. Blood pressure that keeps climbing. Heavy legs. That feeling of trudging through water when you're walking. A body that seems to weigh more than it does. Mental fog after a stretch of real thinking. Your brain is only 2% of your body weight. It uses about 20% of your daily energy, built with magnesium inside the mitochondria. And that energy is built with magnesium inside the mitochondria. Sugar cravings, carbohydrate cravings, that wired but tired feeling at bedtime, where your body is exhausted but your brain won't quiet down. Restless legs, sudden kidney stones. Atrial fibrillation, which is a classic magnesium story. None of these guarantee an issue on their own, but together, that's a pattern. And a pattern deserves a second look. The second layer of this puzzle is what drains magnesium in the first place. And most of us are sitting on top of more than one drain. Stress is a big one. Cortisol burns through magnesium reserves. Sugar and refined carbs pull magnesium out. Sugar pulls magnesium out so insulin can do its work. Caffeine increases excretion. Alcohol does the same. Then there are medications. Over 300 prescription drugs can lower magnesium over time. Acid reducers, diuretics, some blood pressure medicines, certain antibiotics, birth control. It adds up quietly. Not all do it dramatically. But year after year, the deficit adds up. Minerals need acid to be absorbed. And then the drain almost nobody talks about. Low stomach acid. As we get older, acid production drops. You can eat a clean diet and still come up short. The absorption is broken upstream. Insulin resistance is another drain. Cells stop listening to insulin properly. Low vitamin D, low salt intake. All of these trim your magnesium. Quietly, month after month. Now, let's get to what trips everyone up. The word on the bottle matters more than the number. Let me walk you through what's actually on that shelf, from the least useful form to the one I tell my own patients to start with. Magnesium oxide. This is the cheap one, the one you see everywhere. Absorption is somewhere around 3 to 4%, meaning the other 96% goes right through you. The label says 400 milligrams, but your body actually sees about 12 milligrams. No wonder so many studies produced lukewarm results. The form they tested was barely absorbed. And it's a strong laxative at higher doses. Moving up a notch, magnesium sulfate, Epsom salts essentially. More useful for a bath soak than a pill. Magnesium citrate. Many of you may already know this one. Better absorbed, around 30%. Helpful for leg cramps, stress, and blood pressure. It's also strongly laxative. Magnesium malate. This one pairs magnesium with malic acid, what your cells use to produce energy. People with chronic fatigue or muscle pain often feel a difference. Magnesium taurate, paired with the amino acid taurine, particularly friendly to the heart and the nervous system. Then magnesium L-threonate. It crosses into the brain more effectively than other forms, if your concern is memory or focus. This is the one to ask your doctor about. It's more expensive, but for brain work, it stands alone. A quick note on labels. Magnesium glycinate and magnesium bisglycinate. They're the same thing. Absorption around 80%, which means a 200 milligram capsule delivers close to 160 milligrams. That's the difference between a supplement that works and one that decorates a cabinet. Glycinate is magnesium bonded to the amino acid glycine. Glycine is not a passenger here. Glycine is calming on its own. It helps the brain shift toward GABA, which happens to be the same target most sleep medications aim at. Glycine also supports collagen. It helps your body make glutathione, the body's own internal cleanup molecule. So you're not only getting better magnesium, you're getting a second nutrient working on sleep and recovery. It's also gentle, almost no laxative effect. You can take it on an empty stomach. It doesn't need strong stomach acid. That's why it's especially practical past 60. The prefix just describes the chemistry. Marketing makes it sound different. It isn't. Now here's a pairing worth knowing. Magnesium and vitamin D work as partners. They depend on each other. Vitamin D cannot be converted without magnesium. The vitamin sits waiting for a cofactor that never arrives. Adding a little vitamin B6 helps too. Look for a glycinate supplement that combines those. Let's talk about dose. The recommendation is 420 milligrams for men, around 320 for women. These are the bare minimum to avoid deficiency. From the glycinate form, split into 2 or 3 smaller doses across the evening. The splitting matters. Your body can only absorb so much at one time. 200 milligrams early evening, another 200 before bed. More effective than all at once. Timing matters just as much. The later in the day, the better for most people. Your magnesium follows a gentle rhythm. It rises in the evening and dips in the early morning. That early morning dip is when cramps and anxiety tend to strike. Evening dosing rides with the rhythm. You don't have to take it with food, but low stomach acid may be part of the picture. Betaine hydrochloride can help restore acid levels. Ask your doctor whether it's appropriate for you. One thing I need to flag. Magnesium can interact with medications, blood pressure drugs, antibiotics, diuretics, heart rhythm drugs. Sometimes it amplifies them, sometimes it weakens them. Ask. Now, food. No supplement replaces what a plate of real food does. The richest source is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green pigment in leafy plants. At the center sits a single magnesium atom. Beautiful architecture. Our blood is built around a similar molecule, but with iron at the center. Green leaves and red blood share the same architecture. 3 cups of dark leafy greens a day gets most people close. Spinach, kale, collard greens. Real servings. Pumpkin seeds are dense with magnesium. Cashews, almonds, Brazil nuts. Dark chocolate, avocados, beans. If your digestion is strong and your diet consistent, food carries the load. But for most adults past 50, gaps remain. Medications and stress mean diet alone rarely closes the gap. That's when the right supplement makes the difference. Side effects, briefly. Glycinate is among the gentlest forms. Watch for lower blood pressure, especially if you're already on medication, and looser stools if you push the dose too fast. Start low. Magnesium is not a fast-acting fix. Some notice sleep shifts within a few nights. Bigger changes take longer. Blood pressure, cramps, anxiety patterns, heart rhythm. These often take 4 to 8 weeks to shift. Your bone tissue is the body's long-term reservoir. When reserves are low, refilling happens slowly. Consistency beats intensity. A moderate daily dose for 60 days does more than a massive dose for a week. An intracellular or red blood cell magnesium test comes closer. It's the closer look at the bank account. Talk to your doctor. Bring them what you noticed in yourself. Ask about your medications and the RBC test. Take care of the small nighttime signals. They're not noise, they're information. I'll see you in the next one. Be well and stay healthy.